Hello there. Welcome back to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and tonight I have a single feature photo scrapbook layout design for you that was a little bit like chaos turning cute. It was touch and go there for a while, but it ended up working out. I am using the Iconic Celebrations suite, which is a brand new suite collection that can be purchased all together or separately. So there is a stamp set, a die set. There is some really beautiful pecan pie and clear ribboned gems that I'm in love with. And there is DSP paper that crosses over all seasons and celebrations. It's 6 by 6. And then there is some white frayed ribbon that comes in the collection as well. So let's take a look at it. And I am the first to admit I didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand this. These are so tiny. What am I going to do with this as a scrapbooker? And then when I started to play with it, I discovered that there are layers to the stamps. So you can use the dies by themselves and make really cute icons that cross over the seasons, or you can have a base layer stamp and a top layer stamp. So the tree has 2 stamps, the candle has 2 stamps, the leaf flourishes have 2 stamps, some of the stars have 2 stamps, the hearts have 2 stamps. So you can use the base as a standalone stamp, or the top as a standalone stamp, or you can combine them to make a more detailed stamp. You can also, again, use the dies by themselves as well. They're very cute, they're very tiny, and my favorite part is the pecan pie and clear ribbon gems. I also love the frayed ribbon. I don't use it in tonight's layout, but then it also has 6 by 6 DSP paper, and as you can see, I've used bits and pieces of that, but it is crossing over holidays and celebrations, hence the name Iconic Celebrations. There is fall, there is Halloween, there's Valentine's, there's Christmas, there is just all the seasons in there, even things that could be used for fireworks or for New Year's. And so I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what I was doing. I wanted to make something cute, but I actually filled the Junk Gypsy tray with all kinds of icons from the DSP paper and from the coordinating cardstock colors. And so all of these icons, I tried to sort of sort them out in my brain. And I kind of tried to put like all Christmas in a section and all fall in a section, and then crossovers in a section, and then maybe birthday, 4th of July in a section. I just knew that there was something cute that I could do with this, but some of the pieces I stamped, some I used the base stamp, some I used the top stamp, some I used the stamp combination, some I just used the dies on cardstock, and I ended up with this enormous pile, but they're so tiny, it barely used any of my paper. And so it's going to be very interesting for you to see what transpired. So there's also some great stitched icons or stitched pieces here that you can actually use to make sentiments and put sentiments on. And I actually love the font in the sentiment. There's one that says grateful and one that says celebrate. And then also you have the season, light, peace, joy, love, and different sentence starters or sentiment starters. And so, yeah, have no idea. So here we go. This is why I called it Chaos Turning Cute. So I actually pulled a different 12 by 12 background that was a leftover piece from a scrapbook layout that I made earlier last week. And this is Carter Kirk and Avery Jean and myself. And this look, the look on their faces, looking at each other, and then me looking at them, you can totally feel the love in this photo. I love this photo. It's the only one I have. It doesn't go with anything. We were actually off on a little adventure somewhere, and we were riding a train. And Carter is our oldest son's son, and Avery Jean is our middle daughter's daughter, and they are cousins, and you can feel the love between the cousins, and I just wanted to use that photo. So I made a scribble circle on the Cricut. You can make a scribble circle with pen and paper plates. I've shown this before. I wanted that on an 11 by 11 white, and I wanted the background piece to be this leftover piece from Countryside Inn. So I think it was a sophisticated sled process video, super cute. I'll post that in the description. But I love that background, and I needed a 12 by 12 background, and I will gut that out. And then I actually used not Misty Moonlight, but my other favorite. Yes, it is. It's Misty Moonlight. So I did 11 and a quarter by an 11 and a quarter Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to gut this Countryside Inn piece of DSP by cutting from 1 inch to 11 inches all the way around, because I only need the edge, and I love this paper. I didn't happen to use it in my last layout. I was actually using Countryside Inn for a winter layout. Even though it has a little bit of a summery vibe, it worked perfect for winter. And I was trying out another one of our drops from the online exclusive special that we have going on now called Sophisticated Sled. So I've just been having so much fun trying out all the things that are on our online only exclusive specials. So here we go. This was my original thought. I thought about iconic seasons, and I thought about separating the seasons and doing winter, spring, summer, and fall, because there's everything you need in this set for all the seasons, right? And that's why they call it Iconic Celebrations, because it's covering all the celebrations. And then I thought about a sentiment that I love. I think I may have used it in something before over the course of the last 5 years, but I can't remember what. But it says, "You are my most favorite season of all," meaning my grandchildren are my most favorite season of all. It does not matter what season it is, they are my favorite. They're my favorite subjects. I overuse them, but they're my life right now. That's what this season of my life is about. So I thought it was really appropriate to say, "You are my most favorite season of all," because they are the season of my life. And I love this photo. So I've played around. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't know if I want it around the circle. I don't know if I want it like inside the circle. I don't know. I truly don't know. So I thought I would kind of put that aside and work on the icons. And it ended up being even more of an unknown disaster. Chaos. So I don't know if I've ever had a video where I haven't had a concrete plan. Like, I usually have at least the gist of where I want to go, and I was lost. I was like, I do not know. So I started pulling out all of those icons, and here were my ideas. One idea was to section off winter, spring, summer, fall, or Christmas, fall, Valentine's, kind of section off the icons and just have them be eclectic, and have like maybe a little section of the circle be Christmassy, and then a little section of the circle be fall. And then I'm like, stop. I don't know what I'm doing. So I came back and I started over again, and I started to sort things out according to color then. I just was so mixed up about what I wanted to do. And so I started to pull out like primarily the blues and the browns. And then I was looking at Carter's shirt. My shirt has like blues and grays, and it went perfectly with the blues in the collection. And then I was kind of looking at Carter's, and I thought, well, maybe I could bring in some of the moody mauve, or maybe I could bring in some of the other colors. And I was looking at my pile, and I was like, I'm going to be here till midnight. Like, I have no idea. Oh my gosh, you ever get yourself into a situation and you just know you can do something amazing, but you just have no clue? I mean, normally I have a better scope and sequence of what I'm going to do on my videos, but there were so many parts and pieces to deal with. So I struggled with this, and I just kind of kept going, and I kept thinking I can do this. And then I thought, you know what? I really need to start again. I think I need to work around the title. I actually pulled out every single color except for blues, greens, and browns. And all of a sudden I felt calmer. Like I was like, okay, I can do this. And so then I was like, I need a concrete plan for the title. I do love it around the circle. Yes, it means some of the words are upside down, but I think that's playful. It's fun. It's very obvious what it's saying. And so then I just started shoveling the pieces in and just putting them all over. And I honestly, I spend a little bit of time here and I actually fast forward this video like light warp speed compared to how my normal speed of my videos go, because I keep playing with it. And when I get all done with this, just throw them on there. Just take a whole handful of them, throw them on there, and let the chips fall where they may, because it really doesn't matter. I coordinated the colors already with the browns, the blues, and the greens. So the pattern paper is coordinated, the cardstock is coordinated, everything is coordinated. And I really feel like the time that I spent fussing on this was not well spent. So I'm going to save you some ache. Just throw them on there. They're all going to look amazing. So while I'm fussing here and I'm arranging, I'm trying to put some little icons between some of the words, and most of the icons I want to be within the circle, and then a few little decorative icons outside of the circle. And then I want to make sure around the photo, maybe to the left of the photo and the bottom of the photo, to have a little bit longer flourishes. It just seems kind of like it's floating out there and it needs a little bit of an anchor. But I'm going to tell you, the icons are going to do the talking. I'm not going to be adding any other pattern paper. I have plenty of pattern paper, so I cut the icons out of the Iconic Celebrations 6x6, and I just did a variety of all of the so some of those are fall, some of those are New Year's, some of those are birthdays, some of those are Christmas. They're all different seasons in there within the greens, the browns, and the blues, and it looks great together. I really like it together. And then as far as the cardstock, I did the same thing, very much used scraps. There's hardly any paper that was used to create all of these icons because they're just tiny and cute. So I used Misty Moonlight, I used Night of Navy, and then the brown is Pecan Pie, and then the green I used Mossy Meadow. So aside from white, those were the colors that I chose, and those are also colors that are coordinating colors for this collection. And so if you aren't familiar with the online exclusives, it was a huge drop of product on July 3rd that were, it was interesting to me as a brand new Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. This is my second month in Stampin' Up!, so not having known a product cycle yet, I was like, wow, they're giving us a little bit of Halloween, they're giving us a little bit of Christmas, they're giving us a little bit of fall, they're giving us so many things. So if you follow my channel, you've probably seen a couple interesting recent videos. So in July, I did early this month, of course it's still July, but for July, I did Halloween with our Potions and Spells collection or bundle, which is just the brights, and it's actually just a die and a stamp in the bundle, and it's so cute. It has a little cauldron, it has bubbles, it has a little raven, so cute. So I was like, what am I doing? I'm doing Halloween in July. And then I did, I did another unusual one that was a different one, and I'm like, you know what? Oh, sleds. So I did sophisticated sleds, and I did a winter one in July. So it could totally be like Christmas in July, but it's actually all seasons in July. And I don't know if they do online exclusives every July, but it's been interesting to me to see all of the variety of product. So we have a great new train stamp set that I did a great layout and process video with, and I've just been having all kinds of fun. And I thought, I'm going to dive in. This is my first time having an online exclusive special as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I don't really know how they work. I don't know what they're all about. I'm going to try it all. So I picked up all the things in the pre-order period that I liked. I didn't pick up everything, but I picked up everything that I liked and that I thought I could use. And this was actually one that I just couldn't decide because I was like, it's tiny. I usually gravitate toward really large dies because they're better for scrapbooking, but something gravitated me toward these. They're so super, super cute and little. And so now I'm fussy cutting grateful. So when I fussy cut out a saying or a sentiment, I let my fingers move the paper, and I let moving the paper do more of the work than actually turning the scissors. And then I also leave a little bit of an edge around that so it looks like a die and it actually works perfect. And I think that's going to be so cute. I do love the little stitch sentiment bases that come in this kit. So there's like a small, medium, and a large. And so you can arrange the words in the stamp set onto those, and I actually thought it needed a little something in the corner here, and I love that, and I am grateful. I love it when there's just something about cousins, and when they get together they giggle and they play. And the Carter at this time, the time of this photo, was the only boy grandchild, and he's actually 13 now. So I'm just explaining here that I kind of want a few little things on the side and that I'm feeling happy with the way the icons are going. And it was definitely chaos turned cute. So I felt like very out of control. Like I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it is taking shape and it's adorable. And I love that every season is represented in there and all the celebrations are represented in there. But I'm actually saying it doesn't matter what the celebration is. It doesn't matter what the season is. You are my favorite season. You two are my favorite season. So now I'm thinking to myself, I still have it on warp speed because this still is taking so long. And I don't want it to be like watching paint dry. I just want it to go long enough to visit about it a little bit and for you to see what I've done here in case you want to reduplicate it. So I'm using some of the Misty Moonlight, and I have a blending brush, and I'm moving it aside, and I'm just going to gently rub. I always rub off when it's a darker color. I can always come back in and add more color, but I can't take color away. So I'm just going to go on a diagonal, which is tricky. Had I known what I was doing, so this is saving you a lot, but had I known what I was doing, I would have went all the way on a diagonal, and I would have added all of the Misty Moonlight on a diagonal all the way down to Grateful prior to putting any pieces in place. So now I have to move the pieces out of the way, which is not too hard, but again, that's why I've sped the process up so much. And I'm going to add ink all the way down on a diagonal. And then I love this little confetti foof. It's like a little foo-foo stamp, and I'm doing second generation with it because I just want it to be light and speckled to add a little flavor. So we're going to add a little flavor in the back of all those icons, and I really love that. So I'm going to move quite a few things out of the way, all the way down, and I'm trying to keep it close to where it was. Why? I have no idea, because it makes zero difference at all where those pieces fall. So I was being ridiculous trying to keep those pieces kind of close to where they were so that I could remember where they go. Now I have actually taken a photo when I've worked a layout out in the past, and then I've taken a photo of it, printed the photo so that when I remove all the pieces and I need to put them all back in place, I can remember where they go. But literally every single one of these icons is cute. Every single one of the colors that I chose coordinates with each other once I sorted it out and sorted out the greens and the browns and the blues. And green, brown, and blue is actually one of my favorite color combinations. It's kind of outdoorsy, it's kind of masculine, but it goes with everything. So I found with these more delicate words, I'm using the fine tip glue pen and my tweezers. Now I have really big hands. My hands are always full of ink. They're always full of glue. I don't have those built-in tools that some of these women have, where they have the gorgeous nails and they're long and they're almost like a tool. I have stubby fingernails and big fingers, and so I'm doing the best that I can here. I'm trying not to manhandle everything and be embarrassed on camera about my inability to be dainty. But I am using my Tombow liquid glue for the larger pieces, and then I'm using the fine tip glue pen for the smaller pieces, and it seems to be working out great. But let's face it, I mean, with a layout like this, no pain, no gain. It actually did not take me that long once I sorted it all out. And so it's just a matter of figuring out where you want everything, and then you can go back and you can glue everything down. And I'm super happy. Like, I'm loving how it's turning out, but literally it was like a color explosion of chaos when I first started. But I did like the idea, and I may try a different layout. I loved the idea of some kind of combo of seasons. So if you had like a little, you could maybe do a monochromatic, like where it gradually went into each other. Like if you did, like say Christmas in a certain Christmas monochromatic Christmassy tone, and then moved into fall and did fall in a monochromatic fall tone, and then moved into the like the birthday and maybe 4th of July in a different tone, and moved in. So I think if you did so maybe 4 tones and let the monochromatic pieces bleed into the next color, and sort of gradually do that. Like, I know you're thinking, what is your brain saying? But I did have this great idea in my head that I really love that concept. But when you have it all out there like that, I think had I cut all the pieces thinking that at first, but what I cut the pieces, I cut them according to the holiday. So I cut all the Christmas, no matter what color it was. And then I cut all the fall, no matter what color it was. So if I would have cut, say, fall in only maybe 1 or 2 color schemes, and then cut Christmas in only 1 or 2 color schemes, I think that totally would have worked. And I know what I'm saying. Let me know if you know what I'm saying. Or better yet, if you've got a great idea on that concept, do it and then show me. I would love, love, love to see it. It's like, don't you hate that when you have this idea in your head, but it takes a minute for it to come to fruition? That's kind of how I feel. So yes, I loved this day. I love this photo. It's the only photo. We do have other train photos, but this was just so cool. It captured me looking at them, and that you can't fake that kind of look that's on my face. I have genuine just love and enjoyment looking at the two of them. Carter is so admired by all the girls. I started to say he's the only boy in our family, was the only grandson in our family, and he is 13 now. And we had, when he was 11 and a half, we had Waylon James. And so they are quite a bit apart, and it's all girls. We have 8 grandkids, and they adore him. They absolutely just, like, they won't leave him alone. Like, when he's around, they are jumping on him, and they are hugging on him, and they're asking him to play, and they just love him to death. And so I love how he is with them. He makes them laugh. He makes them smile. He stops everything and pays attention to them, even though he's older. And I'm so proud of him for that and being such an awesome kid. Okay, enough of that. I'm still going. I'm still going. I literally sped this up, and I thought it was going to be like Mickey Mouse, and I think that I could speed it up even more, but we are getting there. So at the same time that the online exclusives dropped, all of our last Close to My Heart product dropped. And so I think our last, except for I do believe there might be an album retreat coming, but all of the last product dropped on the same day. So it's taken me a minute to work through the online exclusives because I was overwhelmed with trying to get the Close to My Heart product as well. But I thought I might as well be creating with a lot of the online exclusives while I'm waiting for that last product from Close to My Heart to come. We are having an online event. It's called a Snips by Kelly Bash. We're going to be using Seasons of Green and Gold, which is actually the last online exclusive that I have yet to showcase, to show you. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, gold glitter paper in it. So I had Iconic Celebrations that I'm working on here tonight to show you all. And then I have Seasons of Green and Gold to show you all. And then I think I will have shown you just about everything in online exclusives that I wanted to show. But you can check that out. But oh my, we have great stuff coming in from the Stampin' Up! Purchase Close to My Heart product as well, the bridge product, so to speak. I am a little relieved that it's our last product drop for the Close to My Heart stuff, even though I'm heartbroken and sad. I am relieved because it's been difficult focusing on both. So I've been trying to give my heart to both. And once we get to September, all Stampin' Up! Will be created equal, and we will have 4 brand new scrapbooking workshop kits exclusively designed by Stampin' Up! But patterned off of Close to My Heart's scrapbooking workshop kits, and you are going to be so excited. All 4 workshops drop at once in September. And so I think you're going to love that. But I'm sure having fun with what we have so far. Man, do we have the product. It's hard to find a focus when you have so much to choose from. So I'm kind of learning to pick and choose a few little things from each drop and love on them, and just love them and use them and use them and use them and love them. I love to get use out of the products that I invest in. And so typically when I do settle on something, I use it and use it so that I feel satisfied that it's had the love, that I've given it the love and the devotion that it needs, and that we've gotten our money's worth. That is something that I love to do. Oh my goodness, we're getting there. I don't know if you've hung with me, you need to say something in the comments, because this is definitely a process. If you've ever done, I did one like this in the past with acrylic shapes, and it did take a minute. It did take a minute, and I filled in a globe with all of these colorful acrylic shapes, and it was so fun, and it's still one of my favorite layouts today. But you wouldn't do this for everything. You wouldn't do it all the time, but it's really super fun to take chaos and turn chaos into cuteness once in a while. And sometimes I love to do things that are a little outside of the box. We have tons of scrapbooking layouts that follow patterns that are very theme specific, that it's once in a while I just love to throw something different and unique in there. And I think it's really fun to step out of your comfort zone and have a layout or a feature layout once in a great while like this. And I am in love with the separate pieces. I didn't get to use the ribbon today. Let's see, I think I used everything else but the ribbon today. I used the stamp, I used the dies, and I'm going to add the bling here. And I love the Pecan Pie and the clear ribbon adhesive dots. You can't really see them here, but they have a little black, like zigzaggy ribbon that's embedded inside the gem, and it's really cool, and it has a really cool reflection, and I really love this. I can see myself using both the Pecan Pie and the clear for many, many things. I love things that are like versatile, that can go in lots of layouts. I also love things that have tons of bling in one sheet, because I like to divide out my bling for my bonus kits, for my Snips by Kelly paper crafters, and it's really nice to be able to get lots and lots in a package. So you saw me there, I tipped it over because it was hard to tell if there were loose ones. So I got them all on. Woohoo! I feel like I deserve a prize, and you do too if you hung with me. So we're adding the gems now. We're just adding the bling in there, and I'm getting happy. I'm definitely happy. I love it. I love it, and I'm so happy to use that photo that just totally pictures my adoration for my 2 grandkids and how they're looking at each other, and and the affection that they have for each other. It makes a grandma's heart super, super glad. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you so much for making it through. I hope you love Iconic Celebrations and you'll check it out. Stay tuned here for more sharing and more scrapbooking layouts with the product drops. And come back and see me again. Shoot me a comment and we'll see you here on Snips by Kelly soon. Bye-bye.